Hello and welcome back. So today, I'm doing work downstairs in the basement. We're getting the other side cleared out, fixed up and organized, making space. I'm going to set up a computer station down here today. And I was thinking about what I'm going to do with my tanks. Because I'm planning on buying fish soon. And so I've rescaped this tank, and the silver dollar is going to take a year before I could even put them with my Oscars. That was the original plan, but they grow pretty slow, this particular type of them. So let's use this. There we go. A little seat. We'll get closer to this tank. Have a look. So I've rescaped it because I'm going to make this one a community tank. I think we're going to get some Sebrums in here, and I think I'm going to try. I don't know. You see, I have to run fish that want to run at my Oscar temperature. All the tanks in the system are basically exactly the same temperature right now. If I go around the corner, we'll do that. It'll be the same. As you can see. Off by, like, a point. So the system, the water circulates really good. Everything is the same everywhere, and I love it. So because this is going to be a community tank, I'm not gonna put fish in here that destroy everything, and we're trying not to. This stuff's all fairly heavy. They shouldn't be able to move that anyway. And I don't keep deep substrate, so there's not much undermining that can be done. And this kind of hides the whole overflow system. It's the idea. And the filters and the heaters is just a sort of camouflage for that. Keep things a little more natural looking. I kind of like the way it turned out. And I think it's looking pretty nice. The overflow setup in here has been flawless. Just loving it. Haven't had a single problem. Holds its water level. Everything's just great. I mean, using these thin tubes, these thin outflow tubes is probably risky. More so in the Oscar tank. If a big enough poo gets jammed up in there, I'm going to have a problem. But it's working for now. And when you look at the cost of an overflow box, these tanks are in a basement. If it overflows, it overflows. I'm typically around anyway. I'll probably be here I probably won't be here, Murphy's Law, if it happens, but I'm going to get some of those little water alarms. Just stick them on the floors in the right spot, and if there's a flood, I'll know about it. It's on just another thing on the list. This is a 4-foot tank, 24 inch tall. I was thinking putting the flower horn in here, but I don't think the flower horn is going to be a good idea with this whole weir system, because flower horns just disrupt everything from what my research is showing me, and we don't want that in a system with this style overflow. Now, if I put a box on it, then he can't mess with the overflow, and I'll be okay. But we're gonna just community tank this up. I think this will be a really nice community tank, and it can't, anything connected to this flow system is not discus related. This tank's going to be a discus tank. It's darked out right now. I've got some work to do on it. I'm going to need to add a little substrate in there. I need to buy another light because I basically took all the equipment off of this tank and moved it over to the 112. I've got a heater controller to install down under here on that wall. I keep everything facing the same direction so I can see at a glance, just come around the corner, boom, I see all my temperatures. And it's not really, I don't buy the heater controllers for the temperature, that's just an added feature. I buy the heater controllers to make sure that my heaters don't kill my fish. Which is, you're going to put money into a tank and put money into fish that are in the tank, then you should protect them, because the heaters quite often fail. I don't care how much you spend on them. People say, well, if you buy my high quality heater, from my website, you won't have any problems. But that's not the truth. And what fails in them is the temperature controller, the on-off, the thermostat in them. It's very tiny, and the thing's getting hot all the time. Just think about it. So when you use an external heater controller, you just max out the heater, and then that component inside the heater just never gets used. It's just always on, basically, and you won't. You almost eliminate that failure point by doing this. So you could go out and spend $60 to $100 on a high-end heater, but the coils that heat up the water in them are all the same. They're just like toaster coils. So you're better off. You wait for Amazon to put the heater controllers on sale. They go down half price. You get them for $30, and then you go out and you buy a $20 heater and you plug it into it, and you're done. $50. So that's how I do it. And of course, they limit one per customer when they go on sale, 50% off on the ink birds. But when they show up, I buy one. I still need 2 more. I'll get there. I have a lot of them now. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this new scape. We'll go have a quick peek at the tanks. And of course, these tanks are unoccupied. They're just running now. I'll be killing the lights on them. Let all the algae die off in the top tank. It's all died off in the bottom tank. And which is good. It's sort of another way to get it out of my system. And I've been water changing a lot just to keep my phosphates down, and also keep the algae down. But you can see it's starting to come back in the back glass here on this tank. Tank's asleep. And we got the big boys. Everybody's doing great over here. They're all loving life. I really, really enjoy this tank. Oscars are fun fish. You can see how the young ones are quite active and the older ones slow down. When they get bigger, they slow down. So, but yeah, the little ones are quite vigorous, and the older ones just keep them in check. It's very much kids and adults, and the adults, if the kids get too hairy, the adults come out and say, hey, stop fighting, calm down, start pushing them around, and then everybody gets along. So it's kind of like the discus. If you have lots of discus, they don't fight. If you've got like 4 or 5, they're going to fight all the time. Oscars are sort of doing the same thing. I see. You actually need a significant shoal of Oscars to keep the peace. You just have 1 or 2. So, well, 1 will keep the peace, but you just have 2, for example, or 3 even. Higher chance 2 of them will fight. Of course, this all hinges on the fact that Bertha's a peaceful fish, and she promotes peace. So probably need a big female like her to keep things in check with these fish. I don't think the big males are about keeping things in check. That's probably why they're smaller. I think Oscars or the shoal is run by females, and that actually happens upstairs in my discus tank. My tank boss upstairs, Big Red, is a female. I thought it was a male all this time, just based on attitude, but nope, it's the females that boss everyone around and set everyone straight. On our way upstairs, you got the breeding stations all cleaned up, ready to go. I've purchased new CChem tags because I have to refresh them. Only good for a year. This guy, I don't know. He eats, but I put bloodworms. This is how he's eating. I put bloodworms in there like a while ago, like 30 minutes ago. Hasn't touched them. Hasn't even moved. And later he'll go down and finish those. But he won't eat right away. So he's eating. I've got my mitts on some Prozi Pro or whatever that stuff's called. It's in there right now. It's supposed to help when they're not eating. So we'll see what happens with that. I said I wasn't going to medicate him anymore, but I just got to try. Poor guy, you know. But yep, the others are doing good. So and here we are at the big tank with the big boys. The creme de la creme. It's always awe-inspiring to look at this tank. I get stuck in my kitchen quite often. That's where I keep this tank. It's a little warmer in the basement, so. And I knew I was going to keep discus, so I kept them up here because I wasn't sure about how well tanks will hold water in the winter, or hold heat in the winter. And it's not really that bad, so I could move them downstairs, but I'm not. I just will not touch this tank. This tank is staying here. I will not disrupt it because it's perfect. New guy's doing good. He has now eaten the smaller fragments of beef heart while the others feed. He eats flake. He eats bloodworm, and he eats shrimp. So we've got him. He went from bloodworm only to that, and then you can see he's still looking for food. He's at that size where he's still bottom grazing. Another inch or so, he'll give up on that, especially with my feeding regimen. And what I need him to do is catch on to the pellets. Everyone else eats everything else. This guy's fabulous. He's doing good. Eats everything. He's just a champ. He should start growth spurting soon. And the white guy is just, he's gone into beast mode, and you're going to see him growing fast. Just, I can tell you that just by the way he's eating. Going to be a phenomenal fish. And this thing is just, you know, the white one's eating like he did. So once they get on those pellets, boy, they take right off. He's on the pellets now. So he's full of spunk. He's bossing everyone around. He's catching up in size to others. He ain't the smallest fish in the tank anymore. Now it's a little pigeon blood. That pigeon blood's doing well, though. I was worried the first couple days because it was only doing the bloodworm thing, and that scares the crap out of me because sometimes they get stuck there. And this white one was the same way. It was very picky, but it's caught on. They watch the other fish long enough, and they learn. They catch on. Well, you hope they do. And if they don't, they skin you out and stunt and die on you. So it happens. It just happens. And I have to play the guessing game. I don't get where I buy my fish. There's no what were they raised on, what did the breeder feed them. They do not have the information. They just have the fish, and they're good fish. They're sourced well, so they won't tell me the source either. If I knew the source, I could ask the source, but they're pretty guarded about that. So all the same, so that's what we're doing today. Keep working on the basement and getting it organized and straightened up, and get the computer down there. I ordered a computer-based webcam. I'm trying to decide on some wireless ones that I can put on the tanks, and I'm buying OBS compatible cameras, so I want to get the streaming going a lot better, where we have views of the tanks and a view of me doing whatever I'm doing. And yeah, and we're going to get into some more live streaming real soon. And once I have better cameras, then I can sort of set it up like a show, and be switching between cameras and talking about this tank, then talking about that tank, and so on. That's the plan. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're aiming for. So stay tuned. We're going to keep things increasingly interesting around here. That community tank's on block next, and that top 75-gallon tank. I ain't putting any flower horn in there. I'm going to look for like a wowie, just awe-inspiring flower horn. Keep it in that top 75-gallon. And we're going to keep the bottom 75-gallon on the rack. We're going to keep that one free in case I have fighting Oscars or a breeding pair of Oscars that need somewhere to lay some eggs, that sort of thing. I'm going to keep, and I think I'm going to put plants in the bottom 75. I'm just going to load it up with plants, because the system needs plants. So I'll keep them in there, because all the fish I have in the system will eat plants. So we're going to plant the bottom 75, and yeah. So these are the near future plans. There's a lot going on in my head. There's going to be a lot going on with the channel, and just keeping you guys all posted. I hope you all have a great day. We're doing our best here. Catch you in the next one.